Here's an interesting story. Now, Lewis, as we know, you have claimed many, many times that you don't know what your position is on marriage. You don't know if you want kids, but if you accidentally had a kid, you would probably love the kid. We've heard a lot of the declarations you've made. However, you would never, in a relationship, in the lead up period to a potential marriage or conception of children, you would never try to prove to your girlfriend how safe guns are by pointing presumably unloaded guns at your head and pulling the trigger, would you?
I would never, David. But if for some reason I did do something like that, I would actually make sure that those guns were not loaded.
Well, a Michigan man who, up until just a few days ago, was a responsible gun owner, thought it would be a really good idea to show his girlfriend how safe his unloaded or supposedly unloaded guns were by pointing each of them at his head in succession and pulling the triggers. It worked really well with the first two guns, which were indeed unloaded. Neither of them fired because they didn't have any bullets inside of them. However, when he pointed the third gun at his head, it turns out that the 36-year-old man was not actually holding an unloaded gun. It went off and it killed him. He had reportedly been drinking all day. Gun nuts will, of course, say, well, David, the problem is drinking. Obviously, this guy is a responsible gun owner, but the alcohol made him not responsible. Well, whatever he did with his guns and whatever he had in his mind about his guns when he started drinking has to bear some of the blame here. How can we say anything any gun owner does with his guns after he starts to drink is not something we can hold against them? That would be a ridiculous argument.
Right. I mean, I guess you'd have to lump gun murders and gun homicides into that category too. And when that makes absolutely no sense. So I think alcohol should be removed from the equation here, or because I don't know. I think that's part of the problem. If you're willing to play with guns while drinking, I think that's part of this mentality that is the problem we're talking about.
There were three children, ages 12, 10, and 7, in the home at the time that the shooting happened. They did not see the shooting. They also were apparently not related to the 36-year-old man who shot himself, but they probably did learn a very valuable lesson about guns. I wonder if the National Rifle Association would argue that he was being a responsible gun owner because his actions now will be written about in the media, and so many people will learn not to point guns at their own heads.
Sounds like an NRA argument. I'm glad none of the children were related to him. I'm also glad that none of the children will have the chance to be related to him. I mean, I feel kind of relieved that he didn't take anyone else out. I'm kind of just relieved he took himself out. And
Yeah, this
now,
could have ended up far worse with a
yeah,
guy demonstrating in any number of other stupid ways how the guns were unloaded when they actually were not.